Out of Chicago, sunny, mild, and windy as always at Wrigley Field. Cardinals and Cubs Derby Day, and first 10,000 fans through the turnstiles getting a Cubs fedora, and we're set for Game 2. Great to have you with us. Jim DeShays with the great lid. I'm Len Casper. The Cubs with a nice win yesterday. They go for 3 in a row for the first time this season.
Yeah, further proof that you shouldn't bet on baseball. Adam Wainwright came into that game yesterday. 3 consecutive scoreless starts, undefeated at Wrigley Field. But the Cubs had a great game plan against him yesterday. Attacking early, he throws a lot of first pitch strikes. They jumped all over him early, used the whole field. Willing to go the other way was Wellington Castillo. He had a 3-double afternoon. And the left-handed hitters, Sweeney, Shearholtz, Rizzo, all with really good approaches against Adam Wainwright.
Unfortunately, Ryan Sweeney goes to the DL. Roster moves today as Michael Wacha, 22 years old, will face Jake Arrieta, one of the newest additions to the roster coming off the DL. Cubs and the Cards are next.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse, AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. Ford, check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Well, the sun is shining. Wind is blowing out toward right. A little bit of a crosswind and a nice crowd on hand. Cardinals and Cubs in the middle game of this series. The Cubs a winner yesterday is 28-year-old Jake Arrieta. Missing the first month with shoulder tightness, is back off the disabled list and will make his 2014 debut. It'll be his 10th career start as a Chicago Cub. And a few roster moves before the game. Ryan Sweeney left with a right hamstring, probably 3 to 4 weeks, a moderate strain of the hammy. Also left-hander Zach Rosscup option to AAA Iowa to make room for Arrieta. And Chris Coghlan with big league time with the Marlins, selected from AAA Iowa. Now the Cardinals Southwest starting lineup. Carpenter will lead it off. Alan Craig moves up, now playing right today and batting second. Matt Holliday's in left. Matt Adams' first start of the series. Yadier Molina at a robust .346 will hit fifth. Johnny Peralta homered to make it a close game yesterday. John Jay is in center. Rookie Greg Garcia gets the start at second, with the pitcher Wacha hitting ninth.
Cubs defense brought to you by Kia. Blake Bonifacio, Shearholtz in the outfield. Old Castro, Valbuena, Rizzo third to first. Wellington Castillo behind the plate. Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher. Jake Arrieta splitting time last year between Baltimore and the Cubs. Combined to go 5-4 with a 4.78 in 14 starts. 4-2 with a 3.66 in his 9 starts after donning the Cub uniform, including a dandy against his Cardinal team. 7 shutout innings against them back in August.
There's the crew chief, Larry Vanover, working behind the plate. Angel Hernandez, Adrian Johnson, and Paul Nauert. This is a veteran group.
Arrieta slowed by the shoulder issues in spring training. Made 5 rehab starts. 2 starts ago he went 5 2/3. Then they backed him off for his last start prior to joining the big club. So he should be good to go. 90 to 100 pitches here this afternoon.
Sinker, curve, slider, a rare changeup, and a cutter. And you see what he did. That was his spring training right there, essentially, because he was backed off during the month of March with the tightness in his shoulder. A lot of travel for him in April.
Yeah. It's never any fun. You're anxious to get the season started. You get shut down. You have to spend time on the DL, and while your teammates are up there getting their season underway, you're bouncing around the minor leagues. As they say, it is what it is, and he gets a chance to get things started. And this is kind of fun. This is his former teammate at TCU leading it off for the Cardinals.
It is Matt Carpenter, one of 3 Matts, the first 4 hitters in the Cardinal lineup. Both guys are Texas natives as well. Carpenter born in Galveston. Arrieta from Plano, and a fastball is in there for a strike to get us started.
And Jake has been more of a fly ball type pitcher in his career. He would be wise to try to keep the ball down today. Been blown out pretty good.
Off the outside corner, 61 degrees. We will take it. Northwest or crosswind at 14. And the pitch. A bouncer to Rizzo. He will flip to Arrieta, covering the bag. 3 pitches, 1 out.
Travis Wood made the start for the Cubs yesterday. Was really good. Allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, and 7 innings of work. Arrieta sit at 93, 94 with that fastball. Max out at 97 when he's really feeling good. 24 and 27 in his big league career with an ERA of 5.23. The stuff has always been there. The command has been an issue. The walk rate too high for Jake. But if he can harness it, he's got really good stuff.
It's interesting that he's had command issues, because when you look at his windups, pretty compact. Doesn't seem to have anything that's really herky-jerky, but
yeah, it appears to be a repeatable delivery.
Yep. Cutter for a strike. 0-2 on Alan Craig. We talked about this in St. Louis, JD. Carlos Beltran's exit from the Cardinals, he's now with the Yankees, maybe downplayed. He really set up their lineup in the 2 spot. Craig, normally in an RBI spot in the lineup, is hitting 2nd this afternoon. Called strike 3.
Yeah, Beltran, such a big part of their offense last year, and their lineup just felt a little different when we saw him for the first time. And he just painted the outside corner at 95.
Now Matt Holliday. One for 4 on Friday. lifts one foul back out of play. 253 career home runs. He's hit 15 of those against the Cubs, including 4 here at Wrigley Field. Cardinals right at break even, 15 up, 15 down. They have not yet been under 500 through 30 games. And the Cubs are looking for their first 3-game winning streak since the end of July of last year.
Cubs generally try to work Holiday in. It's been their game plan against them, and looked like yesterday he was starting to look in there, so maybe they'll change it up a little bit, try to establish that outside part of the plate as well. I'm going to throw a hook here, Uncle Charlie. Ooh, Uncle Charlie. He's looking pretty good this afternoon. Good tight rotation. That's a tough breaking ball for a hitter to recognize, and you see the knees buckle from Matt Holliday.
Tried another one. 2-2.
Yeah, good, solid performer for a long time now.
Full now, 3-2 with big Matt Adams on deck. And ball 4. So Holiday is on. Well, Holiday's a great hitter. Matt Adams hasn't been around that long, but looks like he can hit. But when these two guys are in their 60s, they could probably tour around with a softball team and probably hit a home run on every swing.
Yeah.
So big dudes. How about this? Matt Adams has more games of at least 2 hits than anybody in the National League through a month. 13 multi-hit games. Outside, ball 1.
Batting .318, a couple of home runs. He doesn't walk much. He's only drawn 3 free passes. He's punched out 24 times.
Nine starts as a Cub last year for Arrieta after being acquired from the Orioles. And he was pretty good. Won 4 of those starts, had a .366 ERA, didn't give up a lot of hits. Came over along with Pedro Strop, 2 international signing bonus slots. Scott Feldman and Steve Clevenger. Shallow left, late break by Junior Lake, and it's going to cost him. Just able to knock it down as Holiday will end up at third. Junior was frozen there for a couple of seconds off the bat of Adams, and it was too late to get to it. That's a 2-out hit.
Now, off the bat, you assume this ball is going to be caught. You see Junior is playing very deep to begin with. That coupled with a late break and a little bit of a slip, and it all adds up to a bloop single for Matt Adams.
And it gives the ever dangerous Yadier Molina an opportunity with 2 on. Curve for a strike. In Molina's first 4 years in the big leagues, he hit a collective .248 with an OPS in the 650s. But over his last 7 seasons, including this year, he's hit .302 with an OPS of almost 790. And he's really made significant improvements as an offensive player, and you see he's always hit well against the Cubs. We knew he could play defense, but you kind of just expect him to hit 300 every year now.
Yeah, and the pretty young guy when he came to the big league, so a lot on his plate. Becoming the primary catcher for a very good club. A lot of veteran pitchers to deal with, so it's understandable that the bat was a little bit behind the catching part of it coming in.
Swing and a miss. Arrieta works out of some 2-out trouble. They strand 2. The Cubs are coming up against Michael Wacha. Hey, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF if today's Cubs leadoff hitter can get a hit. It is Emilio Bonifacio as we check out the rest of the Cubs Southwest starting lineup quickly. Valbuena, Rizzo to follow, Castro in the cleanup spot. Scherholtz and Wright still looking for his first homer. Castillo hot, he's hitting 300. Lake, Alt, and Arrieta rounded out. Michael Wacha says, "Let's go, boys, I'm ready." The 22-year-old deals strike 1.
Yeah, you better be ready to hit when you face Michael Wacha. He wastes no time between pitches. Go, go, go. Changeup, probably his best pitch, but he's got a good heater too.
League Championship Series MVP last year. Ground ball to first. Alan Craig will take it. Matt Adams unassisted.
You see Adams there at first. Let's take a look at the rest of the Cardinal defense this afternoon. Brought to you by Kia. Holiday, Jay, and Craig in the outfield. Carpenter, Peralta. Greg Garcia, the rookie, at second base this afternoon. The big fella Adams at first. Molina behind the plate for our Lexus starting pitcher. It is Michael Wacha. 2-2, 248 through 6 starts. High strikeout rate, doesn't walk many.
Buena stepping out.
You have to do that. You have to make sure you're ready to hit when he's ready to pitch.
Wacha beat Clayton Kershaw twice in the NLCS last year. And 1-0 on Valbuena. He's playing second today.
Walker with just 2 professional starts, a handful of relief appearances prior to last year. First round pick out of Texas A&M. 4-1 with a 278 for the Cardinals during the regular season, and then 4-1 with a 264 in the postseason.
Born in Iowa City, Iowa, went to high school in Texarkana, Texas, as Valbuena checks his swing and fouls at 2-2. Well, what a great approach against Adam Wainwright yesterday.
Yeah, Wellington Castillo talked about it after the ball game, how their plan was to attack early. He throws, first pitch strikes a high percentage of the time.
Pop up behind second, and it's Peralta. Bring up Anthony Rizzo. Over his last 2 games, has 3 hits, 2 homers, and 5 walks. I was talking to him this morning. He said it got to the point in that particular at bat, it was a 2-strike curveball. Wainwright went in, he fouled one off. Before that, he said, I felt like anything inside there, no matter what he threw me, I could handle it. Man, did he ever.
Pretty nice run here for Rizzo, Castro, and Castillo. All 3 of them have been seeing it well and getting really good swings. There's the changeup from Walker, one of the best in the business. Rizzo has enjoyed the friendly confines to the tune of a .404 batting average. The Rockies you can almost discount. It's like a different sport. It's like arena baseball up there in Colorado. Not to diminish, well, maybe to diminish a little bit what Tulowitzki and Blackman are doing, but they're having really good years.
Rizzo kind of bailed out on that pitch. It was ball 3, 3-1. They overshift toward the right on the infield, although Jay in center a couple of steps toward the other way. And another walk. 419 OBP will go up.
Yeah, a player that's pressing might chase that 3-1 changeup right there. We saw it from Anthony last year. But when a player's locked in, seeing the ball, hitters talk about getting into a zone where they can almost, visualize what's coming and react to it. Just barely a flinch there on the 3-1 changeup from Walker.
Wispy clouds overhead, but a lot of blue sky. Castro takes a strike.
That's a painting right there.
Yeah. Bob Ross
yeah,
action.
Exactly. We're just going to put a little cloud here. Put a little sailboat out there on the lake.
Outside, 1-1. Starlin 9 for his last 18. And all of this that you see on your screen has come from the 4 spot in the lineup. That's why he has remained there for the time being, between generally a couple of left-handed hitters. Today, Rizzo and Scherholtz.
Walker will get a lot of swings and misses, usually with the changeup, but the hitters, when they're thinking changeup, will be late on that fastball. One up in the zone at 91. Throwing this cutter more this year than he did last.
Two fouled back.
It's like it's obligatory for the Cardinals to have a 6'5", 6'6" right-hander on their club.
At least one.
Yeah, it's been a line of succession from Matt Morris to Chris Carpenter to Wainwright and now Walker.
Matheny, the Cardinal manager. Another 2-2 and swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's his first punch out. And at the end of 1, 0-0 on a gorgeous day at Wrigley.
Top of the second as Jake Arrieta heads back to the mound, very eager to get this one in today because, of course, he was actually scheduled to make his first start on Wednesday in Cincinnati, and that got rained out, and he said emotionally very tough for him because he was all amped up, maybe even more so than usual because it was his first start. But in hindsight, says maybe that was a good thing. He got an extra pin in with Coach Abbasio, worked on that breaking ball that JD liked so much there in the first inning, and of course today the efficiency of his change, something he's certainly focusing on. But Coach Abbasio says if we can get 5 good innings out of the guy, 90 to 100 pitches, and 2 out of the 3 strikes, he'll be very happy with that, guys.
Thank you, Kelly.
Pretty good recipe for success.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure battling a little bit of the nerves today just because starting late. Want to get back here as quickly as possible. Great atmosphere. Cardinals, Cubs. It looked pretty calm and collected in that first inning. Peralta homered yesterday into the basket. Make it a 1-run game. So Justin Grimm bounced foul past third. Ball actually, JD, I don't think was carrying that well yesterday considering the wind was blowing out, but this ball he got up into the jet stream.
Yeah, it was a high towering fly ball. Actually had a little fade on it. That was number 7 for Peralta. He's among the league leaders.
Holds his hands high as he gets set to hit, and he drills that one out toward left center for a leadoff single. Peralta now 4 for 7 against Arrieta.
I think Arrieta wanted to bury this breaking ball down out of the zone a little bit more than he did. Not a bad pitch, but stayed up just a little bit above the knees, and Peralta with 2 strikes was in stay back mode and delivered a solid line drive single.
Bring up John Jay. Has grabbed most of the playing time away from Peter Borges in center. Ball 1. Most everything else will be later on. Although the Rays and Yankees are underway in Tampa Bay, leading 1-0 in the second. After a very late night last night. Wow, what a quick turnaround for them.
Yeah, hang with them, boys. 14 innings last night.
Finished at 12:57 a.m. in New York. The Rays won the game 10-5. Derek Jeter went 0 for 7 for the first time in his career and grounded out with the bases loaded in the 13th.
Well, it's good because he's retiring and he won't be able to have a chance to have many more 0 for 7s in his career. It was probably on his bucket list.
Yeah. Let's see. Dustin Pedroia with his 100th career home run. Nolan Arenado's hit 22 in a row. And that Jeter note. Boston beat Oakland 7-1 last night. Still 1-2 on Jay.
Cardinals don't run much. Malta down there at first base hasn't tried. Just don't really have the personnel.
I think that hit Jay. No, it didn't. I thought I heard two sounds, but he didn't move toward first.
Sounded like there's a little double hit here.
Maybe he doesn't want to take the hit by pitch. I'll tell you what. What was that noise?
Must have hit a long arm hair. I don't know. We heard something.
Two and two the count.
We talked about Jake's career and the fact that he's had some control issues in the past, and we talked about his delivery and the ability to repeat it. And sometimes too, there's just a guy with a power arm like Arrieta. Probably used to piling up strikeouts as a minor leaguer and as an amateur, and just you get used to kind of pitching away from contact, trying to get guys to chase. Maybe that's part of the reason.
Runner goes, ball 4.
And go back to the Holiday walk in the first inning. It looked to me like he was trying to be a little too precise with the 3-2 pitch that he walked Holiday on. Here maybe just drifting a little bit, leaving the ball up to John Jay.
A lot of those other starts coming against the American League East. Here's Greg Garcia making just his second career start. A teammate of Colton Wong's at the University of Hawaii, and Garcia replaced Wong on their roster earlier this week. And ball 1.
Wong, who they thought would be and probably still consider him to be the long-term solution there at second base. Garcia may be more of a utility man going forward. He's put up pretty good numbers. Hey, that's a good look right there. Gene Shalit.
I was going to say a Gene Shalit look-alike.
Gabe Kapler.
Let's see Garcia's numbers at AAA. 2 on with nobody out. We're in the second.
No, not a ball. Not a ball, Larry. It's a good pitch. Let's take a look on the Menards pitch tracks. Oh, yeah.
Foul tip. 2-1. So I made this comment the other day before a game. I'm curious if you agree. I think because of replay, balls and strikes now are kind of everything for managers and coaches. We've seen a lot of sniping And I think home plate umpires are taking more grief now because balls and strikes are kind of the only thing left to argue about. Your thoughts? 2-2. Everything else we can kind of look at. But that's still the last.
Wrong. Yeah.
It's the last bastion of arguing in this game.
Yeah. If if you're a manager of a club that's scuffling and you've got a little frustration, you're looking to vent. You're right. Home plate umpire is going to be the guy that takes the brunt of it.
2-2. He got him. Good comeback by Arrieta.
He's not able to catch up to the fastball in that sequence, and good recognition by Wellington Castillo. Why fool around when the guy's so tardy on the heater? .95. See you later. Walker up there, likely to bunt.
Hasn't done much with the bat this year. 0 for 10 with 8 strikeouts, but as JD mentioned, his job is just to make some contact here and move the runners up. Rizzo, as you see, racing into your screen, was about 10 feet from home plate when that ball hit the mitt.
The players have a really good dental plan.
Rizzo will pick it up, get the out there, throw to first. Save.
Well, Ricky Renteria spinning around in his dugout debating whether to go out and talk about that one at first base. And we talk a lot about bunt defense, when to be aggressive, when not to be. This is a situation where you got to make sure you get it out, but there's the force play. Rizzo's on it in a hurry.
Safe.
Great play, good call. Stutter step by Walker, but he beat it.
First and second as the inning started, but now there are 2 outs and it's Carpenter. Curve over for a strike. Great to see the Cubs director of medical administration, Mark O'Neill, before the game. Mark has a lot of family in Arkansas, and wanted to send out our thoughts, best wishes to those struck by the tornado recently. Mayflower, Valonia, Arkansas. A lot of devastation down in that part of the country. To let everybody know we're thinking about you. Nothing into the count. Nothing into the count. He'll battle you.
Yeah, usually puts the ball in play. Tough guy to finish off, even with 2 strikes.
In his career, after an 0-2 start to an at-bat, he has hit .301.
That's crazy good.
After a 3-1 count, he's hit .186.
No way.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
Whatever you do, don't get ahead of this guy. You don't hear that very often in the scouting meetings.
the fists that time, and the ball will be caught by Castro. Saved a run. Nice athletic play by the Cubs shortstop to steal away a hit from Matt Carpenter. And we remain scoreless. He asked the questions and you win the cash. Don't miss Beer Money presented by Coors Light, the sports trivia show that has Chicago talking tomorrow night at 7, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Cubs celebrate the 1920s at this homestand. Visit WrigleyField100.com for a closer look at all the planned festivities. 3 night games beginning tomorrow night with the Cardinals. It's a Sunday night game, and then 2 with the White Sox Monday and Tuesday. Tickets available at Cubs.com.
Quoting from History.com, did you know,
No.
because the 18th Amendment in the Volstead Act did not make it illegal to drink alcohol, only to manufacture and sell it. Many people stockpiled liquor before the ban went into effect. And there was a rumor that the Yale Club in New York City had a 14-year supply of alcohol in its basement. So fun fact from the 20s.
So possession was okay. You just couldn't purchase it.
Correct. Sherholtz in the air to left. Holiday racing over, and he makes a grab just before reaching the bullpen mounds.
Come into play. Obviously, that makes it a little bit of an issue for a hard charging outfielder. Not to mention about 3 strides after you cross into foul ground, you're about to run into a brick wall.
JD mentioned the triple-double yesterday for Castillo. He's got 6 hits over his last 2 games, and previously Damon Berryhill had been the last Cub catcher to have 3 doubles in a game. It was at Old Busch Stadium back in 1990. Shallow right, Alan Craig coming on. Did he drop it? No, they called him out.
A week ago, he would have been safe with the transfer rule as it was being implemented then. And
we had one yesterday when Ryan Sweeney got hurt. Oh yeah, that would not have been a catch. You're right.
No way, yeah.
Before they clarified that transfer rule, Sweeney caught it and then tried to flip the ball to Ryan Kalish.
That play right there is borderline no catch, even with the current interpretation of the transfer rule, which is essentially the way it had been for years.
You're supposed to essentially display the ball.
Yeah, cleanly, be able to take cleanly.
Foul tip, strike one. 1-1 to Lake. One more note on the 20s. How much do you think a Model T cost? 1924.
I'm going to go with $399.
$260.
I won't be in the showcase.
'18th Amendment ratified in 1990 but went into effect January of 1920. Volstead Act closed all the bars in the U.S. On the ground and backhanded by Peralta. Throw to first late. Infield hit Junior Lake. First knock for the Cubs.
Right about there, he can sniff that hit. Lunges for the tape. Be careful, boy, when you take that long stride like that. You hit the backside of that bag, you can really do a lot of damage to your ankle.
Mike Alt. It's a foul strike.
Junior Lake certainly with speed, and you always think about maybe a stolen base, but this is a tough combination. Molina behind the plate, who's one of the best all time in throwing out base stealers, and Waka was really quick to home plate. I kind of like, putting some more right-handed bats in the lineup against Waka, even though the numbers don't agree with me this year. Last year, Waka was really good against lefties because of that changeup. And I think you force him to change his game plan a little bit. You mix more right-handed bats into the lineup.
Swung on and missed to end the inning.
That changeup will get anybody out.
Yep. 2 Ks for Waka, both third out strikeouts. Scoreless after 2. here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs and Cardinals will finish out the 3-game set at 7:05. First 5,000 kids 13 and younger get a cool Cubs yo-yo. Second of 10 Cubs retro toy giveaways. Make sure the family comes out every Sunday to complete the set. Go to Cubs.com and our demonstration.
This baby lights up. It'll walk the dog.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. We'll throw this down there to some fans below me.
Wishbone C Cub logo.
And drop it down into that guy's beer down there in front of me.
Craig struck out looking his first time up. And he hits a ground ball to the second baseman, Valbuena, this time.
Lincoln Logs were big in the 20s, too.
Were they?
Yeah.
Holiday, he walked and ended up stranded at third in the opening inning. Arrieta coming back on an 0-1. Power slider gets a swing and a miss. 88.
Yeah, there's been some ugly swings from the Cardinal hitters today. That speaks to the quality of his stuff. Good sharp breaking ball. Good life on the fastball. Holiday has earned a reputation of being a good breaking ball hitter, a guy who can handle a fastball middle away. He has to work a little harder to get to an inside fastball.
Rounding ball. Valbuena again one-handed. 2 easy outs. Now Adams. Hector Rondon went 1-2-3 in the ninth to get the save in a 1-run game yesterday, but Rick Renteria not just ready to say he's the closer. I think the word he used was organic recently. Today, fluid.
Fluid. Well,
which I like.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
keep your options available.
It's, you know, the job is pitcher. You don't, you know, people want an explanation. They want to be told who the closer is. There's no need to have to do that. I played for Jimmy Riggleman 1 year in the minor leagues. And of course, the minor leagues are different. It's more about development than winning. But what he would do, he'd just come around to the relievers before the game. Hey, you're short today. You're long. You're middle. I'm going to give you a day off.
Valbuena will not get this one, and Matt Adams with his 14th game of at least 2 hits.
Yeah, I think Adams a big, strong guy, and I think the power is going to come even more for him. I view him as a line drive hitter, but I think he's going to develop, you know, the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark more than what we have seen. But to get back to the pitching thing, you know, I get the whole idea about pitchers wanting to know their roles, but to me, if I'm a pitcher, as long as I know, hey, today you're available and I'm likely to use you from the 7th inning on, or today I might need you to give me 2 innings. For me, that's all I would want to know as a pitcher. Another bad swing, a late swing at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. We're just not seeing it well off of Arrieta today.
The 0-1. Now So 0-2. Short lead over there by Adams. And high for a ball. 1-2.
One thing Jake has not really done yet today, and ultimately he may not need to, but he has not established inside on the right-handed hitters. For the most part, it's been fastballs and breaking balls moving away from the right-handed hitters that may catch up to him later on in the ball game. If you make good hitters only contemplate one side of the plate, sooner or later they're going to make some solid contact on you.
6'4", 225. Turned to 28 about 2 months ago. Molina pops it up. Valbuena out. Sherholtz in. It'll be the right fielder to end the inning. Takes us to the Cubs' half of the third inning. Neither team has scored yet. North side fan photo for a chance to have it appear later in today's broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Everybody in a good mood today. Spring-like weather.
He's getting married.
Waka to Arrieta. Jake hasn't done this that much at this level. 3 out of 25.
Not a bad swing.
No, not at all.
We should start it a little bit earlier. Good technique there.
Almost a collision. It's Craig. Usually the bigger guy makes a catch. Craig saying, I can't hear you, John.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to really scream to chase that other guy off.
Strike called to Bonifacio. Rounded out the first inning. 3 straight 2-hit games coming in. So he has cemented himself at the top of the Cubs order. Came into spring training as a non-roster invitee. Got signed really late February, mid-February.
Yeah, and aside from the performance, the guy who basically fell into the Cubs' lap is such a valuable piece because of his flexibility. That's exactly what this club needed, somebody that they could move around, and that gives Ricky Renteria some flexibility as to how he makes out his lineup card every day.
Jay will haul it in, 2 outs.
Make a case for Bonifacio being the most versatile player in the game, a switch hitter who moves comfortably between the infield and the outfield. He can play all the infield positions. It's like duct tape.
That's a strike. Night game tomorrow. Lance Lynn, Jason Hamill. Actually, after today, the Cubs will be playing under the lights for quite some time through next Saturday in Atlanta. White Sox here Monday night, Tuesday night, and then we'll head to the South Side Wednesday and Thursday. As Valbuena swings and misses. Again, all 3 of the strikeouts for Waka to end an inning.
Comcast Sportsnet will have complete post-game coverage on Blackhawks post-game live. Go inside the locker room, hear from Coach Q, and get the breakdown on Game 2. Blackhawks post-game live tomorrow, immediately following the game. Pat and Steve have it for you. Go Hawks.
5-2 winner in Game 1 last night. Patrick Kane's pretty good.
Oh, man. He is fun to watch.
Arrieta to Peralta, and a sharply hit ground ball backhanded by Alt, and he throws him out by about 3 steps.
Backhanded play here by Alt. Sturdy third sacker gets up and fires a strike across the diamond. Derby day.
Strike called on Jay from Miami. Went to the University of Miami. Columbus High School. .466 as a sophomore. He hit .528 as a high school junior. Basically, he's hit everywhere he's been. Hit over 400 his sophomore year in college. .292 so far in the majors. And the count even at 2-2. Called strike 3, got him on the outside corner.
Well, nice start to his 2014 campaign so far for Jake Arrieta. Maybe gets a little break on this one, a little backdoor slider that was off the edge, but he gets the call from Larry Vanover. Castillo setting up out there and framing that pitch. He caught one for his pitcher.
Two outs. It's Garcia. Had real trouble catching up to that Arrieta fastball his first time up.
He's a grandson of Dave Garcia, former major league manager. We see Davey out in San Diego. He's now 93 years of age.
Dave's from East St. Louis.
Yeah.
Grew up a Cardinal fan.
Dave Garcia played 20 years in the minor leagues. Never played in the big leagues.
In the dirt, it's 2-2 with the pitcher Waka on deck.
And he went on to be a long-time minor league coach and manager before getting his first big league coaching job at the age of 50, and ultimately got a chance to manage with the Angels and Cleveland.
Close.
Should have been.
Full count, 3-2.
Well, you got the pitcher on deck. You'd like to have him leading off the fifth. So just a good challenge fastball here should be the plan from Arrieta. Don't try to get too cute.
Called strike 3. 5 Ks, 3 have been of the looking variety. Arrieta has been pretty sharp today. Bottom of the 4th. No score. Petty Officer Melissa Gomez, currently serving with the James A. Lovell Federal Health Care Center. 17 years of service. She served on the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, 1st Force Service Support Group, NAS Jacksonville, Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, and National Naval Medical Center, Bethesda. Great to have her here today. Rizzo, Castro, Scherholtz. First pitch swinging and a bouncer foul.
Different wrinkle from Walker as he starts Rizzo with a breaking ball. Mostly fastball, changeup, cutter. That time it was a get over curveball. Cutter in.
Nothing in 2 on Rizzo. '95, but missed badly. 1-2.
It's on 96 from Walker last inning. I don't know if he had this much life on his fastball in his start against the Cubs over in St. Louis.
He had a 10 strikeout, 4 inning start in New York earlier this year. In the air, slicing, and Matt Holliday will put it away.
Cliche is hitting his timing and pitching is upsetting timing, and Walker certainly do that. Get you going back to front with that fastball changeup combination. And also upset your timing, your rhythm as a hitter too, with how quickly he works.
That ball drilled to deep left. Starlin Castro off the wall. Throw to second. Not in time.
Castro again hitting the ball with so much more authority this year than last. Just one hard. It's our Xfinity high-speed action. Careful now. Don't worry about the ball. Find the base. He almost got hurt in Cincinnati. A similar play the other night where he hit one off the wall in center field. Fans will let you know if it goes out of the ballpark. It'll make a lot of noise, and then you can slow down and run around the bases.
Well put. Cubs have a runner in scoring position for the first time.
I get it. You know, it's fun. You're watching it. You hope it goes out, but when you hit it that hard and there's a chance it's going to be played off a brick wall. If you misstep around first or you go slowly, they can throw you out.
One and one now to Scherholtz.
But, you know, that critique aside, wow, what a turnaround by Castro in the batter's box this year. It's been fun to watch.
Bounce to first. Adams will underhand flip. Waka covering. Castro advances. 2 outs. Let's see if Castillo can get him in.
Yeah, and it's also going to be interesting to see how aggressively they pitch to Castillo in this at bat. The way he's been swinging it lately. It's kind of too early in the ball game to get overly concerned with one run.
Stiff wind, and instead of that crosswind really kind of blowing out to right. When we started, it was more left field foul pole to right field. And Craig will make the catch, and the inning comes to an end. One out double by Castro, but he's stranded at third. Still 0-0 after 4. Starting pitchers kind of grabbed the headlines here early on, but we're not even halfway through. 9-1-2 in the Cardinal order. Going back in the Tony La Russa days, at times it would have been maybe a David Eckstein. Or remember, he hit the pitcher 8th for a while. So Pujols hitting 3rd in the lineup, became the cleanup guy after the first time through. And he was not afraid to do something different.
Well, you know, when you have the success he had, there's some credibility there where he could go, go ahead and do some unconventional things. Did that with Mark McGwire too, and Big Mac was still playing.
Yeah. Never really lasted more than maybe a year at a time. Called strike 3. 6 punch outs now for Arrieta.
Last 3 looking. Some other clubs adopted that, not adopt, but would try it. I think Milwaukee played around with that a little bit.
The one I love the most, Jack McKeon once hit Dontrell Willis 7th. But I think it was one of those where, like, he had 2 or 3 guys unavailable, and Dontrell could swing the bat. Talk about humble pie for the 8 and 9 hitters to hit behind the pitcher. Don't care how good he is. Carpenter has him right where he wants him.
There he goes again.
0-2.
Cardinals' best chance to score today was a little flare Carpenter hit out in the shallow left center with a couple of men on. Castro made a heck of a play on him.
Tough to get Carpenter to chase that pitch. Here's the play you were talking about. So far, the defensive play of the game, keeping it scoreless. Made it look easy.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, we've harped on the errors that Starlin makes, but he's as good as any shortstop or any middle infielder in that regard at going after pop-ups and fly balls. Punched out in a deep right and caught on the warning track by Sherholtz. Short, quick swing by Carpenter, and he gave it a ride.
Yeah, well, he's just got great hands. Last year among the leaders in the league in terms of line drive percentage. Doesn't roll over on the ball very often, stays through it, makes a lot of solid contact. You see the hands, the high finish. But at the end of the day, it's out number 2. Right now, Arrieta winning the war, the bragging rights for the Horned Frogs. Old teammate 0 for 3 against him.
Craig hoping he is over his early season slump. Through 15 games, he was hitting under 160, but he's been a lot better here the last couple of weeks.
That's the pitch I was talking about last inning. Worked that inside part of the plate a little bit as well. You certainly have to do it against Craig and Holiday.
Mike Alt, safe. A little bobble by Rizzo.
Yeah, and I think he kind of was airborne as he went to pick that ball too. I haven't seen the explanation from Angel Hernandez. Normally, when a guy comes off the bag, he'll motion that is what he called, or if it was a bobble, he'll motion.
Bobble it.
Yeah,
I think the jump. If they review it, he'll be out.
It should be clean. It looked like it was cleanly caught.
No bobble.
Yeah, I mean, you can see plenty of white there, but it's not rattling around. He's got it secure before Craig gets to the base, and then he goes airborne. So a review and one that should be overturned.
So Ricky has challenged, and this should not take them long. This is the type of play replay was for. When you have what appears to be conclusive evidence to overturn it. So the crew chief is Vanover, and umpire who made the call, Hernandez, they're on the headset.
Yeah, and the key to this play for me is that Anthony didn't re-grip to show that there was any lack of control.
The faster reviews we've had. Good challenge, and Renteria will retain his challenge after the call was overturned. Bottom 5, scoreless. started for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 5th. Last year the Cubs won the battle for the Crosstown Cup. This year, in fact, a sweep. The battle begins here at Wrigley Field. The Sox will travel north to play the Cubs for 2 night games Monday and Tuesday. Tickets are still available. Get them while they last. One of the most popular series of the year. Go to Cubs.com for tickets.
Jose Abreu hit another home run yesterday.
Junior Lake out in the deep left, and that ball is off the wall as well. He's around first, throw to second, late. So Lake and Castro banging 2 base hits off the bricks out in left.
This one of the leadoff variety, and the Cubs with a great opportunity here to draw first blood. Belly button high fastball out over the plate, and Junior Lake turns on it. Infield single first time up, and if he gets this one airborne, he's circling the bases. He'll have to settle for a leadoff double.
Now Mike Alt. Important at bat here with the pitcher on deck. Speaking of the White Sox, Adam Eaton had to leave the game last night with a strained hamstring. Not sure if he is going to end up on the DL. Probably won't see Chris Sale next week. He's out with a flexor muscle strain. And Avisaíl Garcia, left shoulder surgery, done for the year. One is inside. 2 balls and a strike.
The 7th double for the Cubs in this 2-game set against the Cardinals. Of course, Wellington Castillo had 3 himself yesterday. Well, the Sox scoring a ton of runs.
Did lose last night. John Danks struggled.
Well, you just got to recognize the situation here. We've got the pitcher on deck, but there's nobody out, so you don't have to get too greedy here, expanding your strike zone to try to drive this run in. Nothing wrong with taking a free pass. A way to beat longer, out of respect for the changeup. He's kind of in fight-off mode.
Another 3-2, and he does walk him with a curveball that time. Trying to get away from him.
Matheny letting his infielders know how he wants this bunt play executed, how aggressive they're going to be. They're really cheating towards third base. They got a little wheel play working.
It's a strike.
It's interesting, you know, the wheel play, the way it's taught, is that the shortstop starts closer to the second base, and then as the pitch is being delivered, sprints towards third as the corners crash. In this instance, they're not trying to trick anybody. Peralta's just cheating way towards third base at the outset here.
Bunted foul, 0-2. Well, you just hope Jake's best chance to get one down wasn't the first pitch that he took.
Right, that's one of my pet peeves, that you take, you know, you're up there to bunt and you take a strike.
showing here early.
And ideally in this situation you want to bunt it towards the third baseman. With the shortstop poised to break and cover third, that doesn't much matter. You just want to deaden it out in front of home plate, keep it away from Molina. Not a bad idea there to drop back and take a whack. With the corners crashing and Peralta cheating towards third base, it does create some openings on that infield.
Squaring again, pulls it back, drills it, foul. That would have scored 2. You see Craig chasing it all the way down to the wall, but it landed foul.
High risk here by the Cardinals, opening themselves up for potential big swing of the bat from Jake Arrieta. See if they back off here or not. I mean, the reason why he's swinging is because they're coming in so aggressively on the corners. Still coming.
And he bunts through, strike 3. That was eventful.
Yeah, definitely looked more comfortable swinging than bunting. Jabbing at that changeup from Walker.
Lake at second, Alt at first. One away, and Bonifacio deposits one into the upper deck foul. Scoreless tie here in the 5th. Has a sign from Molina, and an 0-2 is on the way, and it's low and maybe a little outside.
Guess you would describe Walker's changeup as a power changeup. It's kind of an oxymoron, but he throws it hard. That one 87 miles an hour. One man's changeup is another man's sinker, I guess.
A 1-2. Spoiler by Bonifacio. Boston leading the A's 5-0. They're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Johnny Gomes with a first inning grand slam. Big Papi has gone deep as well. Pitch. Called strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Waka.
Did it get the inside corner? Yeah, just a wee bit. Perfect pitch. Bottom of the knees, right on the corner.
It's a pitch every pitcher wants to be called a strike, but they don't always get it.
No, you usually get a little more leeway on the pitch away than the one in.
Curve misses. Underway in Minneapolis. Orioles and Twins are tied at 1. They're in the 2nd in that one. Chen and Correa, the pitching matchup in that one. paper, the best matchup is later tonight. Giovanni Gallardo, 2-0 with a 191 for Milwaukee against Johnny Cueto of the Reds, 2-2 with a 115.
Willie Peralta of the Brewers shut the Reds down yesterday. Beat them 2-0, drove in both runs. Got the all-senator matchup in San Diego tonight, McCarthy versus Kennedy. And maybe the best matchup, Detroit, Kansas City, Smiley and Duffy. Just a couple of guys you want to hang out with.
2-1.
A big chance here for Valbuena to be the hero. First and second, nobody out, turns into first and second, 2 outs after a couple of Walker punch outs.
Rizzo on deck, 3 balls and a strike to Valbuena.
Tried to get Valbuena to chase that changeup, and he's such a patient hitter. It was a high-risk call by Molina, but it does speak to how much confidence he has in Walker's changeup and how much confidence Walker has too, because you got Anthony Rizzo on deck. He feels just as comfortable throwing the changeup on 3-1 as he would the fastball.
It's our AT&T U-verse multi-view. Lake started things with a double, then Olt walked. Back-to-back Ks ahead of the Valbuena free pass. So there are 3 on for Rizzo, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Inside. Molina out to talk it over.
The last time up, they worked him hard in and up in the zone. Fastballs and cutters. Grand slam, 6 out of 19 with the bases loaded.
He can keyhole here, 2-0 with the bases packed. Thinking about swinging 2-1
all the way there. Interesting in a hitter's count with the bases loaded. Ball was down below the knees. I think he was fairly convinced he was going to get change up there. Not that you want to offer that fastball down below the knees.
2-2. That was Brian James Ruster up in the bullpen. Mirror images. Same pitcher. Talked to Schlitter today. Might get his hair cut.
No way.
Yeah. Bounce it to Adams. Boy, that ball almost handcuffed him, but he played it perfectly and gets it to Waka, and the inning comes to an end. The Cubs lead the bases loaded in the 5th, and we're still 0-0. Cubs Charities Pink Out, presented by Advocate Healthcare. In an effort to celebrate survivors and raise breast cancer awareness, we encourage all fans to wear pink to the game. All fans in the Budweiser bleachers will receive this unique pink Cubs t-shirt as they enter the gates. Tickets are going fast, so go to Cubs.com today to purchase your Budweiser bleacher tickets. Top of the 6th. Arrieta back to work. And Holiday rips one foul. Here's that pink t-shirt for Tuesday night. Make sure you come on out. Cubs and Sox. Oh, 0-2. You see the story of Rod Tafoya?
Rod Tafoya?
Yes.
No.
An Albuquerque, New Mexico banker. Probably wondering, what does that have to do with baseball? Well, he is on the verge of his 300th career win. And he turns 50 in 3 days. Pitching today for the Albuquerque Yankees against the Colt 45s. He's been playing over 2 decades in senior and adult baseball leagues. Throws 86 miles an hour.
No way. Wow.
The men's senior baseball league, as Holiday strikes out, has over 3,000 teams and 45,000 players all across the country. And apparently nobody else in amateur ball has even 200 wins.
It's pretty impressive. Now, what is his background? Did he ever play professionally?
He did. He was pitching in the minor leagues in Mexico about 25 years ago, and then blew out his elbow. Adams fouls off.
That's ironic. Blew out his elbow, and here he is in his 50s still pitching.
Yeah. It was 1990. So he gets it's like 4 weeks of vacation every year, and he uses it to play baseball. And grounded in the right, and Adams rather is 3 for 3. All singles.
Yeah, one to left, one to center, now to right field. Big man playing the little man's game, using the whole field, hitting singles. But as I said, I think as he develops, we'll see more and more power from the big fella. Very, very good outing for Jake Arrieta.
Get a nice hand here as Brian Schlitter will replace him in the 6th. strikeouts in his season debut, a couple of off his career mark.
Brian Schlitter got a couple of big outs in the 8th inning in yesterday's ball game, now working for the 10th time this year. Shown the ability to get the ground ball. Molina at the plate. Ground ball double play. Certainly something that Ricky Renteria has in mind when he makes the call for Schlitter.
Said he was probably going to get a haircut. He said he might get an inch taken off the back. So you'll be able to read the name on the jersey. Molina lines one foul off to the right.
We talked earlier in the ballgame about Molina's progress as a hitter. Kind of learn your swing, get a better understanding of what pitchers are trying to do. Here in this situation, he's fully aware of what they're trying to do, trying to get him to hit the ball on the ground. So he's going to try to keep his hands inside the ball and think about shooting it the other way. Doesn't want to roll over on one. So Schlitter is going to counter that and try to pound him in with that two-seamer.
Two off the plate in, 2-1.
And then you get to the point in the at bat where if you're Schlitter, you got to find a way to get the ball in the strike zone. You stay fastball or try a little slider away. This is a count where Mike Matheny might be inclined to try to play a little hit and run.
Sherholtz grabs it. Two down. Here's Peralta. Caught the inside edge. Peralta had to sit out 50 games late last year with the biogenesis investigation by MLB. Did play for the Tigers in the playoffs and hit .333 in 10 games. Got a 4-year contract with the Cardinals, and there were some players who were publicly critical. I don't know how you feel about it, but the rules are in place.
Right.
He served his suspension.
Yeah.
What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, if the Cardinals feel like he still has value as a player.
He does have some value. Certainly with the home run ball. 7 so far this year as he flies out to Bonifacio, and the inning is over, and the Cubs will bat in the 6th in a scoreless tie. as we mentioned.
Yeah, his stuff was really good. Slider and the curveball both really sharp. And threw the ball where he wanted to for the most part. Hard stuff. Trying to work Castro in so far in this at bat. This is where usually pitchers will try to bury a breaking ball down and away to get him to chase. Time they tried an inside changeup. He'd be leaning out a little bit and out over the top of that changeup. That's a pitch nobody ever used to throw intentionally. You see it more and more now. Tom Glavine was really good at it. Maddox would do it.
He got some bees in that bat, I think. Top hand stinging. Another 0-2 on the way, and it's low and outside. Hit hard and through past Peralta. Peralta doesn't have the same range a lot of other shortstops do. If you hit it right at him, he'll make the play. Castro with a second hit.
More hard contact from Castro. Just a great job of staying in the at bat. The slider away, a chase pitch for him in the past, but he's seeing it well and he's hitting with a lot of confidence. So he disregards the slider, gets another pitch in the zone, and more solid contact. And this Cardinal club, that they don't have a lot of range. Sacrifice they were willing to take on by adding Peralta's bat at shortstop. Pete Cosmo, who was the primary shortstop last year, a very good defender, but just didn't get a whole lot done with the bat.
Scherholz hasn't homered in a while. September 19th of last year. Pat Neshek, the right-handed version of Randy Choate out there in the Cardinal bullpen. The 1-1 from Milwaukee has popped up. Just down to the outfield grass. It's Peralta for the out.
Check out the Cubs Authentics auction page every Sunday night for your chance to own one-of-a-kind game-used Cubs items. This week's auction features the 1914 Chi-Feds throwback uniforms that the club wore on Wrigley Field's 100th birthday game. That ends tomorrow night, so act now. Go to Cubs.com Authentics to bid on these jerseys and other game-used items from that game.
Castillo's flied to right each of his two at-bats. Check on Castro. Singing the stretch today, the three surviving descendants of Margaret Midge Donahue, a pioneering female Cubs executive, originally hired as a stenographer by William Vex Sr., the then president of the Cubs in 1919. She retired in 1958 and had risen to vice president and secretary of the Chicago Cubs. 39-year career. First female executive in Major League Baseball. A lot of really interesting notes about her career. One strike on Castillo. The pitch, swing and a miss.
You talk about breaking through a glass ceiling.
Yeah. 1929,
wow.
She came up with and implemented the practice of selling season tickets. Made them available at Western Union offices in Chicago rather than just here at the Wrigley Field box office. Collaborated with Bill Veeck Sr. on reviving and popularizing Ladies' Day at Wrigley Field. June 30th, 1930, that particular event drew 51,556 people. To Clark and Addison.
Where did they put them all?
Probably on the field. I've seen pictures. They kind of rope off the fans. Called strike 3 on the inside corner.
Yeah, when you're thinking about the Walker changeup, really difficult to pull the trigger on this inside fastballs. Runner just catches the inside corner. Larry Vanover has shown an inclination to call today. As we mentioned earlier, a lot of times you don't get that inside corner call. Vanover's been pretty consistent.
Good day for Junior Lake with 2 hits, an infield single, and then a double off the wall and left. And he swings and misses. So Donahue retired in 1958 and was given the rarely issued lifetime golden pass by both the American and National League presidents, which allowed her to attend any game at any ballpark whenever she wanted. That's pretty cool.
Baseball's version of the golden ticket.
Yep. Margaret Midge Donahue, her nieces Barbara Ernesti, Mary Manning, and Margaret Manning will conduct the stretch today. Great to have them here. Now 2-1. Walker nearing the end of his day. Now over 100 pitches.
Not surprising that the right-handed hitters are doing the best work of any of the Cub hitters today. Again, the Walker fastball changeup combination really tough on the lefties.
High and deep. Way back there to center, and it is gone. It's a 2-run homer. Junior Lake has had a day. That's his 3rd hit, and the Cubs have the lead.
Well, what a big swing of the bat by Junior Lake with 2 outs. Some frustrating times for the Cub hitters the last couple of innings. And he jumps all over that fastball. Very similar to the pitch he hit off the wall for a double last time. This time he stays through it. And it's our 4 to home run replay. Number 3 for Junior Lake, and RBIs number 5 and 6.
Holt pops up a curveball. Garcia makes the catch. The Cubs strike first in the bottom of the 6th. Lake with the blast. It's 2-zip. gorgeous day at the ballpark, and Junior Lake with a 2-run homer, giving the Cubs the lead as we get into the 7th. Brian Schlitter could get the first win of his major league career if the Cubs can hold it here over the last 3 innings. James Russell with a strike on John Jay.
James out there for the 11th time, but the first time in quite a while. April 23rd, so 10 days ago, against the Diamondbacks, his last appearance. Wesley Wright stepping up his game, and Zach Roskup having been with the club for a while. Ricky Renteria had other options. Russell off to a little bit of a slow start, so he catches a break for a few days.
Mark Ellis on deck for Garcia. Sharply hit grounder right to Castro. 1 out.
Chicago Cubs baseball summer camps offer children ages 5 to 13 of all abilities the ultimate major league experience for 6 one-week sessions in various Chicago area locations. Join fellow teammates for a week of top-notch baseball instruction, exclusive access, and unforgettable moments. Visit Cubs.com/camps to sign your future Cub up today. Well, buying a little time is Castillo. Ramirez warming up in the pen.
It is Neil Ramirez.
Renteria is going to make a move. It's going to be a 1-batter outing for Russell here this afternoon.
So it looks like double switch. Russell gets Jay. Be it for him. Seventh inning, and we'll be back to Wrigley in a moment. About a quadruple.
Yeah.
You got Kalish coming into play left. Lake is going to go to center. Bonifacio swaps his outfielder's mitt for his infielder's glove, and he'll come in and play second. That'll move Valbuena from second to third. And as the musical chairs come to an end, Mike Olt heads to the dugout. He made the final out of the 6th.
Yeah, Ricky Renteria was out there, and he kind of looked like an orchestra conductor, pointing this way and that, and patting guys on the backside as they left the field. And
so it'll be Neil Ramirez, just his 3rd appearance.
And most impressive in Cincinnati a couple of days ago, working a scoreless 8th inning, 1-2-3 fashion with a couple of punch outs
in a 1-run ball game.
Yeah, we were surprised when Ricky went to Ramirez in that situation, but he stepped up. They threw the kid into the fire, and he responded.
Ball 1 to Mark Ellis. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, he's moving guys around and maybe more like a quarterback calling audibles. You in the slot. You stay.
Peyton Manning.
Omaha.
2-0. Might be some nerves for Ramirez. Yeah, it's his third big league appearance, but his first at Wrigley. He pitched in Milwaukee and then Cincinnati.
Well, when you look at his minor league career, kind of up and down, really good in stretches. Then he a couple of years where he wasn't quite as sharp, and normally it was some of it was shoulder issues, some fatigue and injuries, and other times a lack of command. Been primarily a starter. Moved him into the bullpen, I think, to try to simplify things. All right, so that being a 4-pitch guy sometimes struggles with command. Let's see, just blow and go, throw hard, try to command the fastball, mix in a secondary pitch. His curveball at times can be really good, and other times he struggles with it. I guess it's the nature of all pitchers. Kind of been his profile. Part of the Garza deal last summer.
Line drive out into the gap. It's going to be cut off by Kalish. That'll keep Ellis to a single. Get another pinch hitter. It'll be Randall Grichuk for Waka, who went 6 innings, gave up the 2 runs on the homer, and that was it.
This is an interesting confrontation here. A couple of young prospects. Ramirez with a big fastball. Grichuk with a reputation of being a guy who can turn around a plus fastball. Hi, ladies. How are you doing?
Swing and a miss.
Late on that one. Group of right-handers out in that pen now that can really turn it loose. Strop and Rondon, Grimm and Ramirez, all with plus fastballs.
Called strike 2.
The lefties, Russell and Wright, more finesse type pitchers. As is Carlos Villanueva, who's now back in the bullpen with Jake Arrieta assuming his spot in the rotation.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 down.
So way to bury that slider off the outside corner. Don't want to leave that one in the zone.
Carpenter 1 for 6 in the series. Ball 1. You just joined us, Junior Lake. A 2-out, 2-run homer in the 6th for the first runs of the game. Inside 2-1. Ramirez could be a pretty important player to be named later. Coming over in that Matt Garza deal from Texas.
Now 4-for-1 deal, and 3 of the 4 are now on the big league roster for the Cubs. Holt, Grimm, and now Ramirez. C.J. Edwards, a slender right-hander. They really like his upside.
Toss, Ellis back. This is a conversation about pitch selection, or maybe Wellington just sensed a little doubt in Ramirez. Wants to make sure he's committed to the pitch. Ramirez from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Two balls, 2 strikes. Throw to first.
Supplemental pick between the first and second rounds of the 07 draft. 44th pick overall.
Full 3-2.
Carpenter 0 for 3 today, but he hit the ball really hard last time out. A deep line drive to right field. He typically sees a lot of pitches. He has a .370 on base percentage. Love that at the top of your batting order.
So playing behind the runner, who takes off on the 3-2, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. Time for the stretch.
Today's guest conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, the nieces of Margaret Donahue.
Take me out to the ball game. All right, Cub fans, let me hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the park. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I ever get back. It's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or is
Bottom of the 7th. Ball 1 on Ryan Kalish. Carlos Martinez is the new Cardinal pitcher, as Ellis stays into play second after batting for Garcia. 2-0 Cubs with a lead. 2-0.
Martinez, a young right-hander, draws comparisons to Pedro Martinez. Slight of stature, but a big right arm. And he's been good so far. 13 punch-outs and 15 in a third. And get that power sinker. Eventually, I think he will find his way into the Cardinal rotation. Right now, they like that arm coming out of the pen.
English bounces to Peralta, and he got him by a half a step.
The Cubs encourage the use of public transportation to get to and from Wrigley Field. Try riding your bike. Use the Cubs courtesy bike check. That's located near the corner of Clark and Waveland. For drivers, the Cubs provide free parking and shuttle services on night and weekend games from 3900 North Rockwell. Details available by visiting Cubs.com.
Cue shot right off the end of the bat, and Carpenter will get Bonifacio. Now Valbuena.
Yeah, Bonifacio, he does some funky things in the batter's box. He's capable of hitting all kinds of pitches all over, up, down, in, out. He hit a breaking ball that was down around his toes here yesterday, and he fouled it straight back over the screen. It just defies logic.
Saying Valbuena went around on that slider in the dirt, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, it looked like he went. Usually you see Valbuena up there in hitters counts, and you oftentimes see him when he falls behind in the count work his way back full.
On the ground, Martinez will head over to cover as he'll take the toss from Adams, and a quick 1-2-3, all three outs on the ground. So we'll go to the 8th. Looks like it's Pedro Strop when we come back. Promised earlier in the game, we have our AT&T fan photo. Tweet us hashtag Northside fan photo for a chance to have it appear in an upcoming broadcast, and it's brought to you by AT&T. Pedro Strop, the new Cubs pitcher, facing Alan Craig, 0 for 3. Thought he had reached on an infield hit in the 5th, but on replay was called out. And he grounds out to Castro.
Good start for Strop. Cubs bullpen has been spotless so far here this afternoon. Pedro 0-2 with a 3.18 for 13 games, 11 in the third innings, 8 hits, 14 punch outs and 7 walks. All goes according to plan. He'll get the 8th and Rondon the 9th. You would have to assume.
A little bit outside. And he choked. Give a shout out to Liz Rising, getting married at the end of this month in Peoria. Good friend Keon Dolit Shahi will be attending. Ball is lifted in the air, out of play, off to the right. Sunday, the Cubs shut out the Brewers 4-0. Got the Cards down 2-zip here in the 8th today. Tough one to take. 2-2.
Teasing that outside corner. Can't get the call. Let's take a look on pitch tracks. Just off the edge.
Ball. And it's Luis Valbuena. Now Adams 3 out of 3 as Kevin Segrist joins Choate. Paid crowd today 37,874. Lined and caught by Valbuena. So Adams, bidding for his 4th hit it right at the Cubs' third baseman, and Strop goes 1-2-3 quickly in the 8th.
California Chrome. Follow Chicago Cubs with MLB.com at bat for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry 10, or Windows Phone 8. Get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details.
Funky lefty Randy Choate, been doing this a while. On to face Anthony Rizzo. And he drives one out into deep right, way back and gone. A laser beam homer. Number 6.
Oh my, was that pitch turned around in a hurry. Now, put the driver back in the bag. Give me the 1-iron. That'll be enough. I can reach the fairway with that. This ball gets out of here in about 2.1 seconds. A Ford home run replay, and Rizzo continues to punish left-handed pitching. Bam! Look at that swing.
This time Choate's given up a homer this season. And another homer off a lefty for Rizzo. Castro bounces to Peralta at short. 1 away. Molina, Peralta, and Jay in the 9th, if you're wondering, and Hector Rondon getting loose in the Cubs bullpen.
You know, last year the story of the Cubs for much of the season was, you know, that most of their production was from their part-time guys. Their platoon situations at third base and right field. This year, you know, and that was the case really until Soriano got it going on before he got traded. But you know, Castro, Rizzo, and Castillo, those kind of main everyday guys, really stepping up in a big way.
Breaking ball strike. It's 1-2. That's a slider, by the way. A lot of guys, that's their curveball. 73, 74 miles an hour. Got a big piece of Molina. And a foul ball by Scherholtz. That's a strikeout. I guess there's a foul tip. Oh, wait a minute. Or did he just miss it? Molina ended up firing the ball to third as Scherholtz sat there and watched. And that'll be it for Choate.
Foul tip, strikeout.
Here comes Neshek. Cubs batting in the 8th, leading 3-0. by the catcher in the glove. But look at that.
Yeah, well, and cradles into his leg there, and I'm reading the rule book definition of a foul tip is a batted ball that goes sharp and direct from the bat to the catcher's hands and is legally caught. It is not a foul tip unless caught, and any foul tip that is caught is a strike and the ball is in play. It is not a catch if it is a rebound unless the ball has first touched the catcher's glove or hand. That didn't appear to get any part of his glove or hand. It looked like it directly went to his leg.
So you think they maybe got it wrong?
Based on that definition. We'll continue to pour through the rule book here. I have an answer for you by Monday.
Neshek, the new pitcher.
We go from funky left to funky right.
Well, maybe Larry Vanover felt bad for Molina because it really hurt. So, well, you caught it. I'll give it to you.
Well, I know if it like lodges in a catcher's chest protector, it's not a catch. I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, my understanding was always essentially glove.
Yeah.
But according to the book, the rule book, it says hands. A 1-2 hit on the ground to Peralta. And that will take us to the ninth. Cubs leading the Cardinals 3-0, the latest run. Coming on Anthony Rizzo's 6th of the year. Hector Rondon pitching in the 9th inning for the 2nd consecutive day.
Got the save yesterday, protecting that 1-run lead. Now a little more breathing room.
Molina sends one down the right field line, and it's just out of play.
His MO, Rondon's, is to attack the zone early with that plus fastball, 96, 97 miles an hour.
Cubs looking for their first 3-game winning streak, and Rondon trying to get the final 3 outs in all 3 of these wins. But the Cardinals are not going to go away quietly as Molina starts the inning with a base hit.
Just, you know, the percentage is so much in your favor when you've got a 3-run lead in the 9th inning with 3 outs to go. Usually if you don't kick it around, you don't start walking people, force them to put it in play, you're probably going to win the ball game. Molina, a good off-field stroke though with a leadoff single.
Peralta breaks his bat, and the result is a base hit. If the bat remains intact, that's probably a routine fly to left. Tying run will come up. Aggressive here early in the count against Rondon.
Well, they've been paying attention to his outings. They realize he's going to challenge with the fastball, and they're up there ready to swing.
Back to the pitcher. They get 1. They get 2. 1 to 6 to 3.
That's the one you always hold your breath on, that comeback into the mound. The tendency for the pitcher is to rush the throw, but perfectly executed by Rondon. Cool and calm and well executed.
Well, the Cardinals just cannot wait to swing the bat here in the 9th. Everybody going after pitches early. First 2 guys with singles, but then Jay bouncing into the double play. Here's Ellis with a runner at third, 2 outs.
Tried to throw that one 110 miles an hour.
Chance for a winning series for the first time this season. Brian Schlitter could get his first major league victory. 1-1.
Good pitch.
One-two to Ellis, swung on and missed. Cubs win. Hector Rondon. Gotten a little bit of a jam. Tying run came up, but he gets a double play. Then the strikeout, and they've won 3 in a row and have a chance for a series sweep tomorrow night.
Oh, just a really clean game. Good start by Jake Arrieta. Solid work by the bullpen. Look at the late action on this cut fastball. He's sliding off the outside edge. Good work by the pen. Big day for Junior Lake, and Anthony Rizzo continues to swing a hot bat.
And congrats to Brian Schlitter. What an odyssey. Made his big league debut in 2010. Got back to the major leagues this season for the first time, and he gets that elusive first victory.
So the Cubs get it done off Adam Wainwright yesterday. They didn't do a whole lot against Walker today, but because their pitching was so good, it was enough.
And a reminder, we'll have game 1 right here. The Cubs hosting the White Sox on Monday night. First of 4. North side for 2, and then the south side for 2.
It's a good day at the ballpark for these fans. The weather was beautiful.